Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are super excited today because we are on stop one of Where's Alix Tour 2021. So it's been a while to catch up with you, Alix. Great to see you. I know your schedule's been super, super busy traveling all around. So why don't you let's just go ahead and get on our tour. Tell us about where you've been and what's been going on.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for having me back. Let's see. So I just had spring break. And for spring break, we went to the West Coast, to Utah. I went for 2 weeks, a week to just spend time with family, but I also went down to southern Utah, to St. George, Utah, to play in the Southern Shootout down there. I had really good results down there, but the whole experience was super fun. And then the week that I got back, I participated in the Legend Spring Fling, which is a little local tournament, but it's also it's local, but it's big enough for everybody else to come and play out in Woodbridge, Virginia. So yeah, that's where I've been at.
Well, and that tournament out in Legends, I mean, they draw people from like 3 or 4 different states now too. I mean, it's getting more popular.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They had I think probably the farthest this last one was probably Southern Jersey.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. That's way awesome. Well, we want to get into some good details about our, on this stop one here. So, like you said, you were, let's see, bring people back up to speed. Late March, you were out in, like you said, the Southern Shootout in St. George.
Correct.
And then early April, like you said, the Legend Spring Fling in Woodbridge. So, talk to us a little bit about that experience. So, what did you learn out in Utah?
Oh, wow. There was a lot of things going on out in Utah. So I played 2 events down at the Southern Shootout. I played mixed doubles 5-0 with my partner Ethan Lee, and then I played women's doubles 5-0 with my partner Natalie Monson. So Saturday, I played women's doubles with Nat, and we went 2-2. It was kind of unfortunate. We ended up in 4th place. However, just all of the matches... they were super close, super fun to play with, and I think that the competition out west is a little more advanced than on the east, so it was definitely things to learn here and there, and I think the highlight of Saturday was my second match. It was against Kristen Bellows and Allie Phillips. Allie is also a junior. She's 18 years old, but those two were so fun to play. They played like the same way that I would play and the same way that Nat would play. So it was fun to be able to read them. So something that I learned there was just how to adjust your strategies to playing against somebody who may read you a little easier as well, just because you have similar styles. So that day, actually, we had a rain delay early in the morning. So towards the afternoon when we started, they changed our bracket so that we would only have to play 1 game to 21, which threw everybody completely off.
21. That's like forever.
Yeah, I guess it was a time thing, like just in case like you played 2 sets and you tied up at 1-1. Anyway, Natalie and I were up at the switch at 11. We were up probably like 11-8, and we had some momentum. We kept getting points, but at one point we just held and we couldn't end up scoring points with the wind adjustments as well. That was super tricky. That's another lesson that all pickleballers gotta know eventually, is how to adjust your shots to the wind. But Allie and Kristen played so well that they kept getting points on us, and we couldn't hold them any longer. And by the time that they had a big lead on us, they probably scored like 10 points in a row. It was like 19-11 at that point. So by the time that Natalie and I had to catch up, it was too late. But they played phenomenal. And then my last match of the day was, I honestly can't remember who I played, but they're amazing local players in the Utah area, and that one as well. Constellation played up to 15. We had a big lead and just came up short. I think it was a mental thing though, because once you're up so much, that
mentally tired or mentally trying to come back or relax because you're so.
I think it's just, I think it's like a relaxation like thing, like. If you're up by so much, you can't stop there. You got to keep pushing. You can't let up any more points than that. You just got to finish it, no matter who you're playing. So That's what happened on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, that's
moving on to Sunday.
But that's a big lesson, right? Because if you,
big time, yeah.
It's about mental toughness, right? So you do get that lead,
Absolutely.
and you start to go, take that sigh. But the people on the other side of the court are like, you've lit a fire in me. I'm coming at you. So it's like this, polarization of events. So you're right. That mental toughness is absolutely important in that situation.
Yeah, something that a good friend, pickleball friend of ours, Michael Tingstrom, I was talking to him the other day, and we were discussing how when you're up like that, you gotta think like your opponents do. If you have match point, let's say I'm up 14-9, for example, and you're serving, the other team is under pressure. They're feeling the pressure. They need to hold you. You have nothing to lose at that point, except a big lead, obviously. But you got to finish it there. You got to know that they're feeling the pressure. You have advantage. You have match point, and that's when you got to go for your shots and put them away.
Right, and pickleball so often is a game of runs, right? So
exactly,
14-9 seems like such a distant number, but at the same time, if you lose that serve, they get on a run. You look in the rearview mirror, and it's like 15-14, going, what happened?
Right.
So that sounds
big
awesome.
Leads can disappear right away.
Well, that's great, though. That's good insight to share and some lessons there. And then your mixed doubles, right? You played mixed doubles out there?
Yes. The day after, I played with my pickleball big brother, Ethan. That day, I think we played 5 matches.
Oh, wow.
And we ended up in the 5th and 6th place. But that day, in my head, I was probably like, I just want to get the energy going, and I want to do good. I want some redemption from my Saturday, because Ethan actually ended up in 4th place as well in men's the day before. So we were gunning for that spot. I think all of our matches were so fun, honestly. But again, deja vu, our second match, we played against our opponents who played exactly like us. Their name is Minnie and Ryan Wilkins, Team Onyx couple who lives in St. George, Utah.
Okay.
But they were amazing, and if you guys were to rewatch the match, they literally played the same exact way that Ethan and I did. There were a lot of points where we kind of just made errors where it was too easy for Ryan and Minnie to read us, and too easy for Ethan and I to read them. So that's also another thing. But the final score was like 8-11, 9-11, so it was so close. We could have had it, but yeah, it was. They played awesome.
So let me ask you a question.
And then
so you had 2 matches where you played like opponents. So
yes,
I guess I have a 2-part question. One is, so did you feel you had to adjust, or did you stick with, hey, this is the way, this is our style, this is what we do?
I would say both, in different ways. So I would stick to my style when I think that I can read the opponents. I can like almost bait them, and set it up where I can put it away easier. So like, my specialty, in my opinion, is like banging battles at the net. If I can set something up and I just overpower them, that's something that I'm going to want to do. But a time where I want to switch it up is if I think that my opponents will overpower me, and I just got to stay patient with it, read the point as it goes, and not rush into anything that'll put me into danger.
Yeah, no, that's super, super smart. So yeah, it does sound like there's some adjustment there. Yeah, if they're picking up that banging, right, and getting it right back to you, then maybe taking it slow, portion of slow
Absolutely.
game, and then pick it back up at another point, right? Take your opportunities as they come.
Right.
That's fantastic. Well, it sounds like you had a fantastic time out in Utah. Appreciate you sharing those lessons with us. So let's so after Utah, we returned home, basically, kind of, sort of. Came back to this coast and went to the Legends. So what did you play? I assume you played mixed and women's there as well?
I did, yes.
Okay. Before we go there, I hadn't thought about asking this before. Any interest in singles? It's growing,
Yes,
the popularity
actually.
is growing.
Right, yeah. People ask me that a lot, actually. So I came from tennis, as most people know, and tennis is more singles than doubles. And I loved running around the court. However, I don't think it's an excuse or anything, but usually tournaments, singles falls on a Friday.
Right.
And the tournaments around here, the competition just isn't to the point where my parents will let me skip class to play singles. So that's the issue there, is that I mean, I've played singles. I love singles, honestly. I think it's a whole different game, and it's just as fun as doubles. And I'm really hoping to advance my game in that. It's not my specialty,
right.
but it's definitely something that I'm going to want to do more later on, if possible.
Yes, maybe sometime in the future, have yourself or someone in singles, or maybe even a panel, talk about it, because newer people to pickleball, they may not realize it is a really different game, and it's a really different strategy. Oh, yeah. But it is fun to see it growing, and it really does grow. But you're right. Fridays, school days, stay in school. So, all right, why don't you tell us about your matches at Legends?
Okay, let's see if I can remember this. So I played women's open with Tina Childs. Her and I, she lives down the street from me, so I had practice with her like at a local park, and we just kind of, they needed an extra team, so I was like, Tina, you want to play with me? Let's just do it for fun. So we ended up silver that evening. We played a round robin. It was 4 teams, including us. Unfortunately... fortunately and unfortunately, I guess. But the first day, we played our first 2 matches, and we won those. We felt good. We were solid. And then it just got too dark, and the facility at Woodbridge doesn't have lights. So we got cut off there, and we had to continue early the next morning. And I guess our momentum couldn't carry over, and we ended up losing that third match, which bumped us into second place.
So you fell all the way to silver.
Yes, yes.
Oh, my gosh. What are we going to do? That's too funny. How was mixed?
Mixed was fun. It was a larger bracket. I played with my dad. I usually play with my dad. But we were playing really well. We actually haven't played with each other in a while, so it was nice to come back and just go back to what we're used to. Let's see here.
Like
I think
zone?
we won about... Yeah, it's always comforting playing with Dad, but sometimes it gets frustrating. But at the end of the day, it's all fun. Let's see. I think we did really good. We had momentum throughout the day, and we were solid. We played maybe 3 or 4 matches until we were sitting in the gold medal match.
Nice.
And conditions got pretty bad that day too. It was dark, rainy, windy. I don't know what else. However, we were in the... maybe we finished the first set of the gold medal match, and unfortunately my dad got injured.
This was injury,
and
right?
We had to retire from that. Correct. Yeah, he has tennis elbow, and it's been lingering on for several months now, and he didn't play with the guard on in our prior matches, which he played so good though. So I guess the guard didn't do anything. He played really well, and I guess it was just the gold medal match where he hit a shot and it just started to pain him. So yeah.
So we were talking.
So we ended up with silver that day. Yeah, as well. Double silver that weekend.
That's pretty productive. Yes, we were talking just before we came on live, and I spent about 9 months last year with a tennis elbow. And you just feel like I gave it a lot of rest, but it just doesn't take much. But you can just do one particular shot, and it's just makes you stand tall. So I've since, as you know, got mine repaired, and so I'm super excited to feel better. So it sounds so simple and maybe not so painful. Tennis elbow, how bad can that be? It is absolutely painful, and you've got to take care of it. Mm-hmm. So we're with your dad. I hope he's healing and feeling better these days. I know it's a process.
Yeah, you too. I'm glad you're back, strong and healthy.
Oh, can't wait to get back at it. So, when you went out to Utah, did you meet any new people, or anything stand out about someone you met, or someone you caught up with?
So I had traveled to Utah to play in the Great Salt Lake Classic back in October. That was my first time playing a pretty large tournament out there. And so when I played there, I met people, the people I played against, and just people who came up to me wanting to say hi. So my partner Ethan, I had met out there as well. And so when I came back this time around, Ethan and I wanted to practice. So he grabbed a bunch of his friends and was like, "Hey, I have my pickleball little sis in town. Let's get some practice before our next tournament. So I guess I met a lot of new friends from him. Lots of great matches, advanced players, so fun. Great group of people out there.
That's awesome.
And then this Sunday or Saturday before I left, junior player Kale Klein and I, we actually organized a little event for juniors up in Brigham City where he lives. So we got, I think, maybe like 12 to 14 juniors out.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, there's so many juniors out there, but he managed to get all of them to come in, and we played a junior mixer. We got to play with several people,
wow.
And at the end of the day, whoever won got like a little prize, which was so fun. But the thing with juniors is that we connect online. Like, we all have Facebook, we all have Snapchat or Instagram. Yeah, so I guess you could say that I've known them, like we're internet friends prior to that. Mm-hmm. But meeting them in person, oh my goodness, that was awesome. And just getting to play with them on the court is just so much fun.
So is it, sometimes when you meet people that way and you have so much of your original friendship online, and then you go out and you meet them, were they kind of the way you thought they'd be? I mean, this has nothing to do with pickleball, but it's just an interesting, an interesting thing. You think you know someone, and then you go out there and you're like, wow, you're totally different than what I thought.
I don't think so, to be honest. I feel like I don't. All of my friends I meet that way online, and then we meet somehow because they're also like long distance friendships. I think the only thing that I think that stands out and it's like, whoa, I didn't think that was you, is their height.
Right.
Yeah, and people think the same thing about me. People think that I look tall on camera. They think I'm 5'8" compared to like next to my dad, but I'm short.
Oh, that's hysterical. Well, hey,
yeah.
I know our time's up today, and I know you have a lot to do. People, watch out. Stay tuned. Watch all the live streaming that you can, because the next stop 2 on the Where's Alix tour, is the U.S. Open in Naples. So that's going to be
I'm so
exciting and so much fun. And it has a lot of live streaming, so we really hope to catch you down there. And after that, we'll return and we'll get to stop 2.
Awesome,
Sound
yeah.
Good? All right, well, hey.
Sounds like a plan.
We're all behind you, cheering loudly for you. So great job out in Utah. Great job at Legends.
Thank you.
And good luck at the U.S. Open.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Until next time.